politic-wise. I don't like Trump with his views and stuff, but take his views out and take Kamala's
Okay,
views
be
out.
quiet.
And it's just based on...
Questionable comments about a young girl. Let's listen to that.
Soon. Thursday night. You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
Okay. Okay. No, that's fucked up. Okay.
So you wouldn't vote for him?
I wouldn't vote for any of them, to be honest now.
Okay. Lizzie, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you will be voting for Trump in 2024. Get YouTube Premium, bro. Yo, what's up? Are you voting for Trump?
It is.
Are you said yeah?
It is, yep.
So why are you voting Trump?
Because I'm not voting for Biden. Biden didn't do anything for me this past...
Biden's not the other candidate, so of course you're not voting Biden. So are you voting...
Well, I'm just saying, like, I feel like, well, cool. Kamala is Biden's, minion, so...
Kamala?
Whoever. Caramel. I'm voting for Trumpy.
Can you give me one policy Trump influenced to get passed that you like?
The abortions.
The what?
The abortions.
Abortions?
Mm-hmm.
What policy is that?
Listen, sir. Trump supporters don't have to do all the explaining because Trump does him and he explains what he wants when he wants.
Are you trolling?
No, I'm really for Trump. First of all, we had pp5.
Yeah, she's trolling. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you will be voting for Trump in 2024. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Let's try Nate.
Nate, you voting Trump?
Yeah.
Why so?
Because of the border.
Oh, Nate, I've already talked to you before a few times. I appreciate you coming up as always, Nate. I really appreciate you.
Oh, damn it.
Thank you so much. I've talked to Nate a few times.
Damn, the one guy we get.
Nate is really cool.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up? How old are you?
I am 19 years old.
Are you voting for Trump?
I am voting for Trump.
Why so?
Because I feel like Trump, as like a person, he doesn't like niggas. So, yeah.
Yeah, that checks out.
Alright, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you will be voting for Trump in 2024. We are just looking for some debates.
Bruh, chat.
Nira, thank you for the $2.
Y'all know who Rich Lowry is? Parker, you know who that is?
No.
Rich Lowry? He's the editor-in-chief of the National Review. He went on Megyn Kelly's podcast, SiriusXM, and full-on said the N-word. Like, just full-on blood, just like he was talking about the Haitians, and it just slipped out. Like, talk about like a fucking 40 and slip. Like,
literally MAGA. Literally, that's MAGA.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I am 30.
Are you voting for Trump?
Absolutely not.
Based. Especially Trump being with being like caught around Laura Loomer, who's like, even Marjorie Taylor Greene called her racist.
Yeah. Then you know that
you know you're definitely racist if Marjorie Taylor Greene calls you racist.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene
of all
calls you
people.
racist.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Bluetooth disconnected.
36.
Oh, nice.
Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah.
Why so?
Mostly just for the border.
Okay. Appreciate that, Mustache. Thank you so much. How do you feel about Trump undermining the border bill?
You said undermining?
Yeah, undermining. He called people in Congress to not vote for the border bill.
All I know is that when he is president, the border is going to be more secure, and that's mostly what I'm concerned about.
Well, then why did he undermine the border bill?
Well, I guess that's not really relevant if I believe that once the border is secure, that America will be a little safer.
Wait, how can he secure the border without Congress?
Well, he's done it before.
Really? You think the border was secure during his tenure? Really? Is that why he only got what was it, like 45 miles of the wall done? While while campaigning in 2018, he was lamenting that there was a caravan of migrants like about to come and everything. So, I mean, people seem to forget that like during his tenure, we had people who were in cages, right? And that was a big fiasco. Like nothing was that secure because ultimately it had to go through Congress. And so once again, my question is, how is he going to secure it without Congress?
Well, I mean, that's not the point. You asked why I'm voting for Trump, and the reason I'm voting for Trump is for border security.
And I'm telling you
but
that
Trump doesn't care about border security and actively undermined the border security.
He may not care about it, but he's going to shut it down as soon as he's president. That's what's most important.
If he doesn't care about it, then why is he going to do that?
Well, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. He's just going to do it, regardless of whether or not he cares about it, in your opinion.
So, again, he undermined the border bill. This would have passed if Trump did not undermine it.
But regardless
Zinarella,
of
thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much.
Regardless of anybody's opinions, he's going to shut the border down and start the immigration process. And that's most important.
So you said it's going to start the immigration process being shut down. Again, why would that be the case if he undermined the border bill just to run on it? Why would you pick the person who undermined it?
Well, because he's going to follow through with getting it done. And as long as it's gotten done, then I'm completely satisfied with who's our president.
And my question again is, how's he doing it without Congress? Because none of this can happen without Congress.
Well, he's done it before. Remember I said
he didn't do it before. That's the point. I just gave you examples how he didn't do it before. Like there were still migrants coming over the border while he was in office.
Precisely because the wall wasn't completed, and by the time he was out of office.
And who do you think funds the wall?
Well, we do, obviously, and so does Mexico.
No, well, okay, but like, who's the institution?
What do you mean institution?
Who gives the money?
Well, we do.
Oh my God! What vehicle of the government gives the money?
Whoever distributes the money.
Oh my good Lord,
Corey! How many branches of government are there?
I don't think that's really relevant to the question.
How many branches of government are there?
But for the question you're asking me, it's not really relevant.
Would you like to answer the question though?
Well, I'd like to answer it, but quite frankly, it's not relevant to what we're talking about.
Go for it though.
But we're not talking about that.
Go for it. How many?
You wanted to know why I was voting for him, and I told you.
It kind of is relevant when you can't tell me who the person who dishes out the money is.
So the main argument was here was why I'm voting for Trump, and I gave you my reasons. And because you guys disagree with it, you come up with something else.
No, I directly countered you, and I asked you a question which you could not answer.
No, I can't answer it. It's just irrelevant to what we're talking about.
It's very relevant because I asked you directly who funds the money, and you said the people, and then I kept asking you what vehicle through the government does it, and you had no idea. You kept saying the people. No, that's simply not the case. Like you didn't know that it was Congress. Which is back to my point. How is he going to work with Congress to get it done? Because Congress dishes out the money.
Well, it's going to work the same way it worked before when nobody wanted it done, but everyone who did wanted it done, they got it done.
What did that even mean? Do you know what that meant, Matt? I have no clue.
No, that was a non-answer. Once again, how is he going to get it done with Congress? Please give me the very specific, because right now you're just saying, well, he will do this. But I'm saying without Congress, he can't. So please tell me how he's going to do this.
Well, he's going to get it done the same way he did before.
Which was what?
What was that?
You don't know, do you? I said, which was what? Like how did he do it before?
Well, I'm sure you're very...
I know, but I'm asking you because you're the one who's like talking about it. So tell me, how is he going to do it like he did before?
So as long as you know what I'm talking about, I guess it's irrelevant if I explain.
Well, you know what? I don't know what you're talking about. So please inform me.
Well, you just confirmed that you do know what I'm talking about.
I was lying.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yes, it's very important. Now, please educate me.
Well, since you are educated, and I know you're not actually uneducated in this, I'm not going to answer your question because
we have a word for this, and it's called obfuscate. You're obfuscating right now because you don't know the answer.
So I did watch the debate, and quite frankly, I was deterred from voting for Trump. However, when Kamala started speaking and had an answer for everything that she was going to do and implement, it made me a little more towards her. Okay.
Paris, thank you for the $5. Thank you, Paris.
Kamala has a plan for healthcare. Trump doesn't.
Kamala.
Yes, Kamala
Yes, true.
has a plan for healthcare, and Trump doesn't.
Yep.
He
Concepts.
just has concepts. Yep.
And Kamala doesn't have a plan for the border,
She
but
does. The border bill.
Yeah.
Trump does.
The
No.
border bill, actually.
He undermined
The border bill. The border bill is irrelevant to.
What's Trump's border proposal?
What do you mean?
What's Trump's plan with the border?
Well, he's going to close it up and make sure that nobody's coming in illegally.
Okay.
That's not how it
Lovely.
works.
Lovely.
Well,
So
what's
please
not
tell me what
conviction?
can you tell me what constitutional or statutory authority he has to do that?
The same authority he had to begin with.
He didn't close it last time, like he actually didn't close it. So I'm asking you, where in the Constitution or what statute gives him the power to
He couldn't
permanently
even build
close
the wall.
it?
He couldn't even build the wall.
He may not have closed it, but he closed it to anybody coming in illegally and got having.
No, he didn't. No, he
did.
didn't.
That's all. How do you
total
close
lie.
it to? How do you close it to people who are coming in undocumented when that's already the case because they're breaking the law? It's already closed to them.
Maybe
Like that's in the definition.
The word closed, but anybody who had to come through the border had to go through a process.
What? What process?
Well, it's a very long, strenuous process, and if you can't answer certain questions and get through the certain tests, then you can't come into America.
Okay, so does Trump have to take these tests?
Why would Trump have to if he's already an American citizen?
Well, I'm not sure.
I don't believe he was.
I don't
I don't
accept his
believe he
birth.
was.
I don't accept his birth certificate.
But sometimes opinions don't really matter.
Oh!
My opinion actually does matter.
Has it changed anything?
What? My opinion? Yes. I've convinced multiple people, both here and in my family, to vote for Harris, vote for Biden. I convinced my parents, who never voted in their life, to vote in 2008 when I was 15 years old. So yes.
So even if you came up with 1,000 votes and were very sure that they're because of you, do you think they matter?
Yes.
Why do you think they matter?
Because I consider voting to be a civic imperative, and the fact that I got people who never voted prior to actually now and go out and vote for the Democrat, that's a big winner in my book.
Yeah, in your book, though, see how it comes down to opinion and how opinion doesn't matter.
I think anybody who thinks that voting is very important will see that like as a good thing.
Yeah, so the reason why I brought up the birth certificate thing is because Trump specifically did that with Barack Obama, and you think that's bullshit, right?
What are you talking about? We haven't talked about that.
Is it bullshit that Trump specifically said that Barack Obama wasn't born in the United States and that his birth certificate was fake?
I don't think it's really relevant to how the country's going to be.
Okay,
So
but I thought the opinion doesn't matter.
Right, exactly. So if I give my opinion of the question that you're asking, how's that going to change anything in the future? So if I answer, it's just a redundant answer.
No, if you give you understand this whole live is about what people's opinions are and us debating that.
Sure, but in the end,
when you're voting, you're acting upon your opinions.
But whoever
don't act like opinions don't have any impact on society, because they clearly do.
Yeah, no, they don't. I mean, you may think
that is one of the dumbest things you ever said. You're voting on your opinion.
I'm voting on the facts that the border will be shut down once he's president.
Which your opinion is that's going to happen, and that's a good thing.
Precisely, and my opinion happened to be before he was president last time that once the border's secure, America will be safe.
When was the border secure under Trump's administration?
Well, at the beginning of his.
He forgets that we just had this conversation like 10 minutes ago.
I know, right?
Both of you apparently forget.
No, I remember those years very well, and we just had a conversation. I remember that the border was not shut down, and I asked you specifically what constitutional or statutory authority does he have to do it? Because guess what? He tried and he failed. Why? Because
Brittany,
he has no constitutional or statutory authority to do it.
How could you say he failed when before he shut the border down, it was open and then it just all...
He didn't shut it down.
And then all of a
That's
sudden...
what you're failing to understand. He did not shut it down. At most, what he did is he temporarily closed the...
Closed. There you go.
Hold on.
That's it.
No, let me finish. Let me finish.
Then he can permanently close it.
Okay, I'm muting him. Okay, no, I said... When you let me finish, that he temporarily closed the ports of entry during a limited amount of time, that is not the same as closing the border. That is not the same. So, had you said that he closed the port of entry, then yes, then I would agree with you. But that's not what you said. And now you can unmute. Just don't interrupt me next time.
Okay. Can you figure out how to unmute? There you go.
And no, Chad, I don't have a list.
Motives, thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much. If you want to support me or Matt and everyone, Venmo, Cash App in the bio. Plus, follow me here if you haven't already. I go live literally every day. We just got back on the main account, so make sure you're following me here. Also, everyone, tap the screens. Get to 4.5 million likes, everyone.
So you would agree that he temporarily closed it, closed the ports of entry.
Yes, he temporarily closed the ports of entry.
So since you're emphasizing on these specifics,
Biden did the exact same thing, by the way.
Okay, but you are emphasizing on the specifics. So once he did temporarily close the ports of entry, at that point there weren't illegal immigrants coming in, except for around the parts of the wall that weren't built.
Yes, because most illegal immigrants don't use the ports of entry. So
Right, precisely. Ones that were, those are the ones that actually wanted to come to America illegally and be a U.S. citizen.
So
not necessarily. I mean, people could have been visiting.
Precisely, but legally.
Yes, but legally.
Yes.
And it was temporary. Biden did the exact same thing, by the way. Biden closed the ports of entry.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. After he saw exactly what was happening because of his own doing.
No, I mean he closed it because of COVID at first, but then he did it a second time.
Right. And why do you suppose he closed it? Because of COVID.
Because COVID was coming over the ports.
Okay.
And he wanted to slow the.
Would you not agree that everything else, maybe not necessarily associated with COVID, but just as dangerous, coming through our border illegally with 1 million people?
He invoked Title 42. Which allowed him to close the ports because of COVID.
Right, but we're talking about now, and now that it's open,
and now he has said he cannot close the port of entry besides for a limited amount of time. Why? Because statute did not allow him to. Guess what? That's why Biden wanted the border bill to pass, because the border bill would allow him to close the port of entry for a longer period of time. That would have granted him the power to do it.
But he doesn't want to do that. That's the point.
No, he did want to do it.
They wanted to do it, but right now, Trump undermined it. He called people in Congress to not vote for the bill. You understand? Trump is the one that undermined it. If Trump didn't do that, this would have been passed.
Yeah, Biden directly wanted the border bill to be passed because of the fact that this would have granted him statutory authority to do what you're saying he should do.
Okay.
Because Biden, unlike Trump, has a respect for the law and wants to be able to say, and he says, I can only work with what is within my statutory authority, and outside of that, I can't do it unless you give me that a new authority.
User, are you voting for Trump?
Of course.
Why so?
Hey, you know what? Every single time I come on TikTok, I keep on seeing your dumbass.
Okay, well, what makes you think I'm dumb?
Why do you waste your time? Why don't you study or learn something? Why do you waste your time?
I am learning and studying on here.
Oh, wow.
I already have a degree, too.
What kind of degree?
Economics.
Wow.
Do you have a degree?
I do.
What's your degree in?
Business.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, are you a low IQ? Is that why you keep on supporting Kamala and wasting your time every
How many
single
branches
day?
of government are there?
You know how stupid you are?
How many branches of government are there?
Every single time I come on TikTok, I keep on
User,
saying
how many
you're
branches
stupid.
of government
I
are there?
blocked you 10 times.
How many branches of government are there?
I keep on seeing your dumbass.
What? Because you're so obsessed with me. How much?
I don't like to see you, retard. Stop coming on TikTok.
Look at that. Already slurring. He's so fucking pissed. Look at that. I'm happy that I show up on your For You page on every account. Every account I show up on your For You page. You must fucking love me. What a fan. Rachel, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up, pal to you? Hello?
Hey, am I allowed to ask why you're voting for...
Oh my God, thank you so much. Yeah, because she's now a 34-count felon, proven sexual abuser, fraudster, election denier, tried to overthrow the government. She didn't try to restrict women's access to abortion. She didn't call for a complete and total shutdown of Muslims entering the country. You know,
Ultimately,
Emma, thank you for the $1.
How would it make you feel that your opinions of him having all those felonies doesn't matter if he becomes president?
Wait, say that one more time.
How would it make you feel knowing that once he does become president, that all your opinions of him having those felonies doesn't matter at that point?
Yeah. So, regardless of whether or not he becomes like a president, he still was convicted of 34 felonies, and he still sexually assaulted a woman.
Do you respect?
So he's still a rapist. Sydney, thank you for the $2. Thank you so much. Do I respect him? No.
No. Do you respect whoever is in office as your president?
No. Mal, are you voting for Trump?
Yes, I am.
And why is that?
I know life was better when Trump was in office economically.
Can you name one policy that he influenced to get passed that benefit the middle class more than to benefit rich people?
So I'm going to be honest with you. I am not super into politics, but what I do know is there's 3 branches of government. I know you asked that.
Yeah, the
but
last
I
guy
do
didn't know
know.
that.
Huh?
The last guy didn't know that, yeah.
Like I said, life was easier. Gas was cheaper. I think a lot of people, COVID wasn't his fault either, and I think that's where a lot of the liberals get him for is, oh, well, COVID. The whole world went down.
Oh, okay. So the same thing happened with gas and inflation. It's ironic that you say that because the same thing happened with gas and inflation, yet you blamed the Biden-Harris administration for gas.
Nah.
Yeah, it happened globally. Did you know that? Africa, Asia, South America, Central America, Europe, everywhere on the world experienced inflation.
Either way, pick any day in 2017, right? Now I'm young, but I'm not quote unquote woke. Pick any day in 2017, life was a lot better.
Mal, can you define woke?
Yeah, the democratic policies.
So woke just means democratic policies? So, for example, it's woke to provide access to healthcare to people?
There is healthcare for people. There was healthcare
for
people. You're not going to get rid of mass health. You're not going to get rid of Medicare.
Wait, is that woke? Is it woke to support Social Security? Is that woke? Is it woke to support universal free school lunch for children and breakfast for children? Is that woke?
Yep.
Is it woke to support a $6,000 child tax credit, $3,000 to their $3,600 to them being 5 years old, and $3,000 through them being 18 from 2000 right now? Is that woke?
Listen, all I'm gonna say is, I'm no politician or anything, or the policies, or I understand where you're coming from, and that's why I genuinely like watching these. But Charlie Kirk had you.
On what point?
Everything. You didn't let him talk.
Can you give me one point he beat me on?
Oh, yeah. Abortion.
What point specifically? Give me a specific point on abortion. Is it the point where he said that people shouldn't go to prison for things that they were mass propagandized into believing, and then saying that, like, child P3 videos he wouldn't send to prison from the early 1900s, and then saying he would kill them himself by contradicting himself? Was that when he did it? What point did he win? Oh, she left.
I am curious about your vision on the abortion problem. Like, what's the issue with Kamala's versus Trump's views on abortion?
Trump is restricting 1/3 of women's access to abortion and didn't provide federal protections for great victims.
Does that
appreciate the $10? Thank you so much. And Mariah, are you voting for Trump?
Yes.
Does that take the morning after pill off the market?
Okay, are you talking about something that would stop implantation?
Just abortion, like the morning after pill.
So it does in some states.
Right. And so if the morning after pill is still going to be available to people who do want to get an abortion, but abortion is legal, is that not going to be an option for them?
The morning after pill is not. It doesn't cause abortion.
Yeah, but if
it's contraceptive, right?
It's contraceptive.
So it's not implantation. It stops fertilization, correct?
Right. So if somebody gets raped,
yeah. So if it stops fertilization, then hold up. If it stops fertilization, then it doesn't cause like what they would consider to be death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, the abortion pill, what you're referencing, is what most abortions are from. That's separated. That does cause an
If
abortion.
that is separated, and the biggest issue is for rape victims, can't those rape victims go out and get that pill?
So
no, hold on.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't mean that. But the issue is not them having access to it. It's the fact that it's still that they should not have to worry about, after having one of the most traumatizing events that any human can suffer, them then having to wonder whether or not they can go out and get it or not, and whether or not they want to be like, oh, so worried about it. Some people do want to restrict it, but we're talking about not about contraception. We're talking about pills that cause abortion, which Trump
Right.
said that he's open to banning, which is a problem.
Right, and whether or not that's a problem, don't you think that somebody who's raped knows that maybe there is potential of getting pregnant and they're not going to take it anywhere past?
Oh, okay.
Once
so,
again,
so are you just gonna blame them?
That's
You're gonna blame them?
exactly.
Well,
exactly.
You're gonna blame the person that just got victimized.
I'm saying that they have an
That is
option.
blaming them. Respectfully,
I'm
that's
saying that they
blaming
have
them.
an option to
Wouldn't it make
take
more
that
sense
pill.
in the issue of rape? Oh, sorry, rape. If we murder the perpetrator of the act rather than the baby, doesn't that make more sense morally speaking? If someone
No,
the victim
because
of
I'm
rape-
against the death penalty, and so
And also, I don't think it's murder.
So you murder the
That
baby,
too.
and not the perpetrator.
So
I don't-
again,
I
we're
don't see it
not
as murder.
arguing. We're not arguing for murder. Prior to sentience, I don't think it's murder. I think that it's a woman, right, having control over her body
if
and
the
getting health
process
care.
of conception was to not be impeded by any means, wouldn't it become a baby?
Yeah, you could say that, but if I keep engaging in sex with my girlfriend, I don't pull out. It could also be a baby. But you don't give a shit about the
Of course,
sperm,
we
do you?
believe-
Do you care about the living sperm? Should I go to
Because
international courts for
the
crimes against humanity for killing all the sperm?
Scientifically speaking, life begins at conception. That's not even a debate in the scientific community.
Wait, but life exists in sperm as well. So why don't you value sperm?
Because life begins at conception.
But sperm is also living. So why don't you care
How
about the
is sperm
sperm?
living?
Sperm rights! Sperm rights!
Sperm
Sperm rights!
Sperm on its own will never become a baby. Do you agree with that statement?
Okay, but see, neither would a zygote. A zygote on its own is never going to become a person like me and you.
So if
It requires the pregnant individual.
Fertilizing the egg, and if,
Olivia, thank you for the $5.
in a
Thank
healthy
you.
situation,
A zygote,
Will
if you
it
just put a
become a baby?
zygote in a petri dish on a desk, it's gonna die. It's not gonna survive.
if a sperm and an egg come together, and there is no impeding, obviously in a healthy situation, right? Would that sperm and egg fertilize at conception at some point, naturally, biologically speaking, become a human being? Yes or no?
Exactly. If I keep engaging in sex with my girlfriend, naturally at some point
You're not-
I could
you
reach
keep
a
going
particular
back to
point,
sex. You
which
keep
then
going back
leads
to
to
sex. I'm
fertilization.
talking about conception. I'm not talking about, of course, a sperm on its
What
own.
I'm telling you is that you could
Zygote on
have
its own.
potential scenarios in both scenarios, yet you don't value the sperm.
I'm not talking about potential scenarios. I'm talking about
Yeah,
a
you're
direct,
saying you
specific
value it based
scenario.
upon potential.
Life begins at conception. That's not even a debate. Of course. No
Wait,
one has
but
told you
life
to agree
exists in
with
the
you.
sperm, so why do you value the zygote but not the sperm?
The reason why I value the sperm is because I know that if a sperm and an egg come together and conceive apart from any other intervention, that will become a human being.
Oh wait, say that one more time.
Apart from some kind of biological intervention, obviously an abortion or a miscarriage, whatever the case may be, if a sperm on its own will never become a human being, of course. But a sperm and egg coming together at conception will eventually become a human being. That's the point.
So what is a human being?
A human being is someone who is, and this is, I know, I don't know where you're at in the conversation. I'm coming a little bit late. I know you mentioned religion earlier, where a human being is a being made in the image of God. That would be my
So
definition.
it's religion. It's religion.
Yes.
So
and I'm not
so
going
is it
to-
wrong? Is it wrong to kill them intentionally for no good reason?
I believe in what's called a rescue situation. So if you're in a situation where you have to choose between the life of the mother or the baby, essentially the baby may end up killing the mother, for example.
Okay, can I
And if we're gonna
ask
lose
you
the
about
baby-
this?
And if we're going to lose the
Confetti.
baby anyway,
So
then
have you read
I would
1 Samuel
choose the-
15:3?
I don't know off the top of my head now.
So it says, "Now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys."
Okay, so in what we have, if you're familiar with Christian theology, and I'm a Protestant, by the way, that we believe that the Old Testament was a tutor until Christ came. Now, in that particular dispensation of time, God has chosen Israel as a instrument to execute judgment. We are not in that dispensation anymore as believers. We believe that the Old Testament has reached its conclusion in the Lord Jesus Christ. And so, although you would make those arguments trying to come from the Old Testament perspective.
So I'm saying back then, do you think it was good?
Absolutely, I believe it was good because.
Oh, okay. So it was good to slaughter the Amalekite infants, but it's wrong for a woman to get access to an abortion with a non-sentient
I'll answer your
individual.
question, and I'll follow up with you. If God decides to remember, if we're all sinners, God has, and we believe that God is holy and righteous and justice in all that He does, He has the right to determine how He decides to execute judgment. For example, because if we're perfectly righteous and we're sinners and He is absolutely holy, whatever God does is right, essentially. Now,
why does God not do it Himself, though?
But before I get to that, my question, and I think you mentioned earlier in the live that you were an atheist. You use terms like, referring to the host, but yeah, you use well. It doesn't matter. If you make moral judgments, right? You say something is good or something is better. How is something good or better given the atheistic worldview, for example? Like if
it's totally dependent upon our desire. Okay, so again,
so there is no such thing as better or good given your worldview.
It is. It's dependent upon my desire.
So if I
have a preference for something and the gradient of that preference,
it's merely
I prefer one thing over the other. What you're not understanding is that you don't predicate it off of your own
good or evil.
Hey, you don't predicate it off of your own perception as it relates to this. You predicate it off of your God, which I know conflicts with your perception of morality. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to test if your perception of morality is different than what's inscribed by the Bible. If it is, then you believe that God did something evil, which is not possible if God is all good.
You're judging me, you're asking me a question as if you believe there is a good or better. And so my response to you is, given that me and you are just evolved monkeys talking and spitting out, radiance from one another, and nothing really matters per se in giving a worldview, then how can you turn around and ask me as if you have a worldview that gives rise to ethics?
What the hell are you fucking talking about, right? It's subjective under both worldviews. You're just speaking gibberish.
You're talking to me suggesting that something is good or better. Like
hey. Morality is subjective. It's dependent upon our preferences.
So if
it's subjective,
then
it's subjective. It's dependent on your preferences, right? It's subjective under a religious worldview, and it's subjective under an atheist worldview. This isn't a gotcha. All you're describing is that there's difference in preferences. So what's your point of this? You can unmute, by the way. I sent you the ability to unmute because you were cutting me off. Everyone, do tap the screen. Let's get to 5 million likes. Share the live as well, everyone.
I'm back on that. I'm a little new to this platform.
Everyone, do tap the screen. Let's get to 5 million likes. Share the live as well, everyone. They have a huge echo. All right. Yeah, I'm done with Corey too.